Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. And well, Far Cry 6 was just officially revealed. And well, here are my thoughts on it. And of course, also, the shit that is happening right now. Far Cry 6 is a game where, from what I saw, it seems pretty standard. It seems pretty similar to the Far Cry games that we saw before, with some notable improvements, which I am going to list right now. And of course, we saw vehicle customization in Far Cry 5. And that is being improved upon in Far Cry 6, as we saw some other kinds of vehicle customization, but obviously we are not quite clear on exactly how that works. So there's that, because we still haven't seen it. I suspect we will see more of it in the Ubisoft Forward that is coming up. So there's that. Other than that though, another feature that I did see was gun customization. Which gun customization has been good in Far Cry. It has never really been spectacular or anything, but it has some pretty customized looking guns here. Like, these are very weird looking guns, the kind of guns that I have never really seen before. So yeah, maybe we are customizing stuff, from a very different standpoint. And also, there are some really cool weapons that we saw, with the carnage and stuff, because you are literally using a motorcycle engine to power a minigun. Now, I don't know how people evaluate cool things, but in my books, that is a pretty cool thing. That is pretty fucking cool. Other than that, I was kind of pissed off to see this, but social stealth is now in Far Cry. Yes, social stealth. The thing that Assassin's Creed almost completely ignores nowadays is now in Far Cry, the game that is almost entirely about combat. Why? Why is this? But anyway. Well, social stealth is there, and it is more of an implementation like Watch Dogs Legion did. Essentially, since you have this military background, your character has this military background, and they were part of the army trainees or something. So they can essentially, maybe just take up the uniform and blend right in. And as long as you don't pull your weapon out, then no one will suspect you. Although I do suspect that some enemies will suspect you, but I guess we'll have to wait for more details on that. But looks like an interesting solution, you don't have to go in with a silenced pistol or, bow and arrow in stealth. Maybe you can go in just empty-handed. So yeah, could really go for, good stealth gameplay. We don't know. Now, as far as the combat is concerned, now I did not see any numbers flying off enemies. I also did not hear any mention of any sort of RPG mechanics, although I am not sure, because this is Ubisoft we are talking about. They love recycling things, and so them not recycling the RPG mechanics kind of feels weird to me. Did they finally learn their lesson from Ghost Recon Breakpoint being terrible? Maybe, but maybe not, because I already stand corrected on a different point. And as I'm talking about that point, well, when I saw the trailer, I missed that little part about the character customization, and I thought, hey, finally, a female protagonist in a Ubisoft game. And I tweeted about it. And then people immediately pointed out to me that that was not the case. And then I watched it back again, and yeah, that is really not the case. Well, there's only one thing I have to say about that.
I find your lack of
balls
disturbing.
They just have no balls whatsoever. Their balls are lost to the wind, so to speak. Yeah, I don't expect any bold decisions from Ubisoft. Something to really shake things up. Because that would be expecting too much. Really, fairly. And also, we have to remember this. This is a game that has been in development for a while. And this is only now releasing. So it makes sense that, after the whole fiasco of last year, this game was already far into development, and it is really difficult to change everything about your game in the last moment like that. You can do little tweaks here and there. You can go for a small rebuild of sorts, but you can't really change the core gameplay and stuff. So I can understand that in terms of that, the changes, if any, in Ubisoft are only going to be more visible, say, in 1 or 2 years. So maybe that is the case, maybe that is not, maybe that's me being hopeful because actually I do love Ubisoft. They are solely responsible for the best moments in my life, so there's that. And so yeah, that's where we are. Now in terms of whether I'm going to buy this game, I don't know if I'm going to buy this game. I am going to wait. I'm going to watch. If this game is in heavy demand, maybe I'll buy it. But if I do buy it, my sole reason for buying this game would be because content. Because I am trying to be a content creator, and well, this might be up my alley because Far Cry is a very influential series. These games are really good games. Like, I never really had a problem with any Far Cry game. I love pretty much every single one of them. So yeah, I don't know. But should you buy it? When I say you, I mean the people who are not making videos, who are not trying to pursue this sort of a path. I would say no. In fact, I would say hell no. Because if the previous Ubisoft entries are anything to go by, it is going to be horribly optimized, probably broken, and well, just a mediocre product in general. Now, I personally am a fan of the Far Cry franchise. I love these games very, very much. So for me, since the game really doesn't seem to be changing, it just seems like this is just more of Far Cry. It is right up my alley, but it might not be up yours. So that is something that you need to decide. But my personal opinion for a normal consumer would be, yeah, do not buy this shit. Because we don't know the kind of state this game is going to be in. That's as simple as that, really. Now on to a more serious topic. That is the whole Ubisoft Accountable thing. Now, this is my personal opinion. And I, plead you to treat it as such. But I do not think anyone not buying the game is going to affect anything. And I will elaborate on my point here, so. Now, if I am the executive, right? If I am that person who is in charge, who is overseeing all the shitstorm that is happening right now, I will look at this and spin it where I am the victim, which is something Ubisoft will obviously do. Now, what will actually end up happening is they will simply term that this game simply wasn't good enough and that is why it did not sell. And that is the story that that is the answers that they will give to their, investors. Because this has happened before, in case you don't remember, with Assassin's Creed Unity. This has happened before. They released the game in such a broken state that players just simply refused to buy that game after launch, after hearing all that shit. And that led to decreased sales for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And what did they do? They essentially said, yeah, this formula just isn't working anymore. So we are going to, do something else. They always deflect from the actual problem. The actual problem in that case was that the game was not ready for release and it affected the players' trust in the company, in the brand. The problem now is that people don't trust the company to give a fair environment to their developers. All they need to do is wait for people to forget this. And let's be honest, people will forget this. AC Sisterhood was essentially a movement that started this and people completely forgot that. When this new hashtag started trending, I saw people attacking the old hashtag and there was a war going on between two hashtags. Even though these both people were trying to fight the same cause. That is how stupid we as a human race are. We are going to forget all this. The moment some good game drops or the moment another company fucks up or does something incredibly stupid, we are going to forget about it again. So tell me, how is me not buying a game or you not buying a game going to affect any of that? It is not. Now, as far as, again, should you buy the game? That is your own decision. Should I buy the game? That is my decision. Am I going to buy the game? Probably not. But again, those are my decisions. If someone does end up buying it, I'm not going to judge them for it. And I think you shouldn't either. Now, to the 3 people who have been listening so far, I will bring this video to a close. And well, here's the thing. I know I sort of said some serious things, which I would rather not have. But the topic demands some attention because we can't just skirt over and pretend everything is rosy. We can't pretend that everything is sunshine and rainbows because it isn't. Now, I am in a very complicated situation because for me, whenever I think of Ubisoft, I cannot think them as bad guys. It's just a me thing because having worked there and essentially having the best moments of my life there, it is complicated for me to see them like this. And even though I know nothing is going to change, I genuinely want them to improve. I genuinely want everyone else to see them like I do. I know that is never going to happen, but that is where I am. So when I said all those things, that is the perspective I'm coming from. Because in general, I have friends there. I have friends I've worked with. I have friends I've talked with. I have friends I've never even met, the people, the developer side who we interacted with. So all of that, all I see there is positive. So from my end, it is very difficult to, get there mentally speaking. But again, that brings about the end of this video. And well, if you do like it, then consider pressing that like button. If you do disagree, then, the comment section is right there. And I would love to have a discussion with you. So there's that. But all that said though, I will leave you guys in peace.